All right, this is the World Four-Player Chess Championship. Free for all. We are going to try to keep this as mysterious as possible. We see everybody's opening their rook pawns. And that is actually a little unusual. Everybody's opening their rook pawns. Thank you, Reexamine, for the appreciation of my tournament. This is for the 4PC people. And thank you, Babiagun and Gustav GDI, all those who could be who could help moderate the tournament and be refs as well. We got there's going to be 4 rounds. The second round of which will be one bracket will be the winners, and one bracket will be the 3 brackets will actually be the ones that are in jeopardy. So featured here are S1805, who is the current rating leader. He is ranked 5th according to his record against other players. Also Rafa25, a Russian player who has ranked 4th against other players. George 56789, who is quite the anti-chess enthusiast, who has also had a good showing in free-for-all. He is currently in the top 10 with a rating of 1795 and is ranked 12th in the championship. And then lastly, we have a winner-takes-all guide creator, and he is Bill 13 Cooper. And Lucky 13, he is ranked 13th. So we have some giants playing a anonymous winner takes all. Basically winner takes all, except it is unrated at it will be anonymous throughout this entire tournament. So we will it will shuffle randomly as we go, and very interesting F-pawn move by yellow. The reason why I think it is fine here is because we have a block here. Now, while we won't see any diagonal threats here because of this pawn, we do see some opening against this king here. So it would be very bad for him to castle kingside, but I'm pretty sure his intentions are to expand on his pawns on this side. Oh, but now he's in the think tank, so this is different. I have not seen, this is not a move that I typically see. I want to say that, I don't know if I want to give away who I think is what color. And I'm not going to click their names either as it would reveal to me and or to somebody else if they can guess their deviations or whatever. This is Bill 13 Cooper, Hest 1805. Yeah, so we're going to type in the chat now. This is game 1 of the opening round bracket number 2 match between now this is weird. Castling, he's non-castle castling. He's castling by hand with 2 bishops in front of his king. I have not seen that in a free-for-all game before. This is quite peculiar, I must say. Who uses bishops to protect their king? Maybe he wants to promote his pawns to queens and maybe keep some pressure along these 2 diagonals, which are very nice and long. It's quite different, and it's very unorthodox to say the least. But I wouldn't say just yet that it is bad, but long term, we could be a little bit concerned here. So yeah, Victor, I will not make any guesses. However, it will become clear. Somebody's going to give away who it is in a second. Me43 thinks Blue's Hest. To your point, Me43, I don't think I see other players push their queenside pawn early on. And I've actually, if I do recall correctly, a user named London to Miquelon Z said that nicknamed Hest 1805 as the queenside pawn pusher. And as Rook 6431 is saying, you don't have to guess. Everyone assumes that your master is playing. No, your master is not one of the competitors, but good try though. Number 4, Rafa 25. Number 5, Hest 1805. Number 12, George 56789. And number 13, Bill 13 Cooper. Score number 4, 0-0. Number 5. No. So it looks like people are spoiling it now. I was too lazy to move my camera over to cover up the chat. So thanks, chat, for spoiling it here. I'm sure people who are watching this video, since it is not being recorded live, are probably already know who the players are, or may have heard. We have 29 spectators, which is fantastic. We don't usually see this amount in free-for-all, and last time we had a big amount of spectators was the championship final between Valgar, Oleg Barantsev, and Rezak's Rekur 89. Yeah, and Rook 6431 is correct. There is a little cheat around. People are trolling, I think. I feel like I feel like people are trolling here. And well, fine. Yes, we're gonna have our trolls every now and then, but say what you want. This is an anonymous game. The people who are playing here are not gonna know who they're playing against and what colors. They will know who they're playing against, but not the colors of that person. So we're gonna We're going to see how this plays out. This is quite interesting. I have not seen yellow decide to expand the pawns in front of his king, but no immediate back rank mates is the compensation we have for this. And also his bishops are well placed on the diagonals and his knights are protecting each other. And everything so far is protecting each other for yellow's end except for the J13 square. And now his king is sitting on D13. He does have to keep an eye on his pawn here. I forgot to say, this is number one game of opening round. The score, I don't think is relevant yet, so I'm just going to type in this. It took me about 15 minutes to do this. How disappointing. I may have to, we may have to, if the rematch button doesn't, I am suspecting that the rematch button may not be the thing to use for this particular bracket. We may have to invite everybody by hand, but we'll see how that goes. So we do have a Russian speaker playing. He barely speaks. He barely speaks to anybody, but he's very humble and a very good, solid player. And free for all, some people do get a little bit salty. For example, John Ludwig Hammer. But Rafa never gets salty. I must say, Rafa is one of those people that you can depend on to not rage at you in a situation where another player has given away a checkmate to another player. But I must say, there are some situations that I've had where this broadcast is somewhere CNN and BBC only. That is hilarious. Good one. So our assistant tournament director, Babby again, has decided he has a little humor, a little sarcasm. The perhaps one of the most firm and serious and blunt of our admins does have a sense of humor sometimes. Very good, man. Okay, so we got the yellow still expanding his pawns. I've been focusing all my attention on yellow this game just because of that king, just because of his king side pawn rush and his positioning of his king. But it's been 24 moves now and 0 capture. Wait, no. What am I doing? Wait, no, I'm actually bad. I've been talking the whole time. I haven't figured out where exactly this capture occurred. So basically, oh yeah, Red had to capture the pawn before it became a queen. So Red gave up one of his knights in the process, and now we're back here. Red's still pushing his pawns. He's got a nice pawn chain going, but J3 is a potential liability at some point if Green has all of his pieces piled on it and Red's queen is under attack at the same time, for example. that entire pawn chain could disappear, and red is down to his kingside pawns, which are his main protectors. So in a winner-takes-all game, we must note that pawns are huge. If you don't have a pawn, it could be a huge difference. If you don't have a knight, it's not that big of a difference, honestly, compared to the pawns in free-for-all. But in a teams game, it's quite different. Missing pawns is actually better in teams games because you can open up rooks and bishops and any sorts of pieces that are potentially otherwise blocked by pawns. And I mean, it's like people sacrifice pawns in the openings nowadays at the grandmaster level in a teams game. Pawns don't really matter unless they all make it to the end game and it's like 3 pawns versus 1. That might be a situation where pawns matter in a teams game. But it's extremely complex and development is extremely important in teams. But in free-for-all, it's very important to keep all your pawns, I must tell you. If you want to be poisonous and evil and just vile of all things, don't take a player's pieces. Take their pawns, because it will be a huge difference on how safe the king is. And king safety is 90% of this entire winner-takes-all game. If everything else is equal, I must emphasize, even though free-for-all has partially evolved into a opposite, being aggressive sort of deal, when it gets down to 3 players, very important to have at least 3 pawns surrounding your king. And that to me is what makes me raise eyebrows when yellow pushes his kingside pawns forward. Because notice that red here has his pawns here, all in a chain. Same with blue. And same again, green has his pawns right here, just surrounding his king. Meanwhile, yellow has his pawns already kind of pushed. The rook has to defend this one, and the queen has to defend that one. And it could be that his king is slightly exposed. But his king does have more room to move around if in a lot of checks. Right now, yellow is moving, hit one of his queenside pawns to prevent blue from promoting. And I don't know. In an anonymous game, some people trust their opposites. If yellow were to, say, not move his pawn, blue would have probably, if this knight wasn't there, would have attempted to promote a queen and hope that green doesn't take it, because if he knows if he takes it, he loses a pawn too. And even though it makes blue more powerful, it would also make him weak if he were to not take the queen of blues, or if he were to take the queen of blues. So there could be a little bit of opposite temporary collaboration between these players. But right now what we're seeing is a very, very quiet game, with the exception of that knight capturing the pawn. And in these higher level games, we're going to see fewer blunders, and we're going to see more moves. We're already 24, 20, maybe 23 actually. I want to say not 24 minutes. We're about 22 minutes into the match, and actually I could figure it out right now. 20 minutes into the match. Still don't know who's who, but this game is a very mentally tough game here. We're not going to know who is going to come out ahead until way late in the game. There's going to be a lot of pressure to try to keep the other players from stealing your win. So when it gets down to three-way, if you try to attack another player, there's a chance that the other player will win. We'll either steal a checkmate or push a pawn to become a queen, and you have to keep the player that you're thinking about attacking in the game to stop him from making a queen. And if that goes on for about 100 moves, then the game could be quite long. It could even end in a threefold repetition. And the threefold repetition, by the way, is actually some encouragement for these winner-takes-all players to be the first one sometimes to checkmate if given the opportunity. I once had a game myself where I was goofing around. There's a video on it about me trolling and getting my king out to the 4th rank. That very same game, I ended up winning on a threefold repetition because I took my opposite's king and he'd resign. But the other two players on my table felt that if they attacked me and took my pieces, then the other guy would develop and make a queen and would eventually win the game. So neither of them wanted to make any progress, and I just kept shuffling my pieces around, so it ended up being a threefold repetition. And I had the highest score on the scoreboard, so I ended up winning. So we are going to be seeing a lot of shuffling here and there, but it is all about slow development of the position and slowly attempting to break down your opponent's positions. This would be interesting if this were the longest game we have ever seen. However, we did break zero. We did trade some bishops between yellow and green. So that was definitely lost in the conversation when we had that happen. So we might ask why the bishop trade occurred. Let me go back like this. Okay, so this is what happened. He opened his knight. Green bishop. Oh yes. So if the green bishop, of course, moved and avoided the trade, then the bishop would have just grabbed the pawn. So green felt compelled. He didn't want to have to move the knight back and then face an attack from red or blue or somebody, and then the bishop takes. So I think that may have been viable in that situation where you may have been forced to trade off the bishops there. It was a little bit iffy on yellow, but he didn't really have that many other moves to make. Now, this is a really funny situation. If the game ends on a threefold repetition, oh, well, actually, yeah, I didn't even, sorry, I didn't have it fast forwarded, but we now have a trade of pawns between yellow and green as well. And still, if we do have a threefold repetition this early in the game, it could be half a point between yellow and green. It would be one loss for red. And whoever yellow is, it would be quite interesting if he got a half a point there. The way his king is placed, I think getting half a point out of this game would be huge, in my opinion. We'd only finish this game in 30 minutes, and we got 38 spectators. This is incredible. People really want to see this. So, I mean, now there is a question of cheating in four-player chess free for all. So one, um, I mean, yeah, it is definitely not impossible for them to be checking the chat and checking spectator arrows here, uh, or consulting friends, etc. And it's quite clear in chat. It's no secret it is possible. But is it worth your time in free for all? Let me be honest. I don't think it is very much worth your time. There's there's very little benefit out of it. The other players can actually gain an edge on you if you make a seemingly temporarily profitable move that weakens your position or encourages other players to attack you. So honestly, it could be karma if you were to say, "Hey, let's look at the chat." They point out a fork on the knight and a knight fork on the king and the queen that I would have missed otherwise, and the red knight to e5, like Re-Exam is saying. Say he decides to read that, and the red knight goes to e5. Let's say blue feels threatened, and by that knight and annoyed, so blue goes all in on red, and then green and yellow follow. I mean, you can make a good move in this game, an engine move. You could cheat from an engine, and you could still be the one everybody else goes after. This game is quite interesting. Anything can happen, even if you're down to say one or two pawns. Everybody else in the game is gonna say, "Hey, if we checkmate this guy, then we don't want him checkmated because I won't have the opportunity to win because I didn't. He couldn't promote queens and destroy this other guy." It's all There's all sorts of interesting things in free for all. I mean, you don't want to attack somebody with little material and then give the win away to somebody else. You just don't. What you want to do is be the one who takes the opportunity in the end. And if that means turtling or giving up material in the opening, or, I mean, yeah, the engine is just, the, the engine is not going to help free for all game. It's not going to make it any more like free for all. It doesn't make the player any better of a free for all player or any higher rated of the free for all player. I think the free for all game is just intended to, the only way cheating could really occur is if two players collude with one another. And now we see an exchange of knights here. Very interesting that green is trading off his pieces with yellow. Typical move says, "Hello guys, I think I'm late." Welcome to the family of 43 spectators. Typical move. And Bad guy is already he's he's his humor is already I gotta say, Bad God, good job on the sarcasm. Yes, 3-3 already. Oh my gosh. So I think the scoreboard is going to look something like this. Uh, it's going to look like number 4, RAF of 25, 0-0. Number 5, Test 1805, 0-0. Number 12, George 56789, 0-0. Number 13, Bill 13 Cooper, 13-13. The last one, 13-13. I do. Is blue a greater threat to the other players? At the moment, he's got 2 queens. Everybody else has 1, right? So let's take a look at the position where he got to make a queen. Okay, yeah. So I don't know who blue is, but whatever reason, he decided it was not good for green to capture the pawn. So he was able to get away with it. And we have, let's see, the scoreboard now is as far as points go within the game. We got a tie between yellow and green, who have just been exchanging pieces with each other. And then blue has one of red's knights for sacrificing it on one of his pawns, which was about to promote. And we have green is now, I think probably the weaker guy here, position wise. I don't know. If I were to rotate it, I could probably get a better idea. I like blue's position. He's got 2 queens. What's to complain about? Yellow, at some point that pawn's going to be a liability. I think his king is probably not that great. Green, I mean, he's got that backward pawn on m5, and his rooks have to protect the pawns next to his king. I mean, again, I'm not liking yellow's position because yellow has his pawns way too far in front of his king. But green is kind of next in line. Green is, interesting move by blue. I don't think red wants to take that pawn. Because if red takes that pawn, he opens a file to his king. And if he opens a file to his king, then blue checks and red loses something, perhaps this pawn right here by the green queen. Then yellow could do something in between and blah, 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 etc., etc. But now that bishop attacks this pawn, I think it has to go up 1 more. Yeah. So this is some type of queenside pawn expansion by blue. I think blue is willing to put his queenside pawns at risk because if they do trade off with red's pawns, then, no big deal. His queenside pawns don't matter all that much because they're not the ones protecting his king. But if they do, in fact, not matter that much, he'll have to keep them, these guys around. And he'll want to keep his queens on the board, or at least one. So I guess let's go rotate around to yellow's perspective. I feel like honestly, oh yeah, that knight just got in the way of that rook defending that pawn. See, I probably like yellow's position the least, just because of the fact that his pawns are too far in front, and he's left a huge weakness on J12. He's going to have to move his knight here to defend it, and all you can do the rest of the game is shuffle these pieces which are surrounding your king. Everything basically has to be glued together. But there also is the weird theory that you could just shuffle your pieces around, watch everyone else think that they're improving their position, when really everybody else is going to attack each other. You're going to stay there and wait for everybody to attack each other. This is free-for-all. It's just quite a game here. And now we got this attacking this, probably pawn push twice. Or maybe a bishop move. We have to defend this pawn. I would think to get this pawn out here. Oh, but when that happens, we have a bishop takes. So this pawn is unfortunately going to have to stay backward, and this bishop is going to have to guard both this and that pawn. And to me, that seems a little bit overworked. And now red's got this diagonal open against the king. I am starting to like green's position less. This knight is sort of floating. I mean, there's really nowhere else he can make his pieces good. Now he's got quite a few, I think, dark squared weaknesses around his king now, and he had to do this because the bishop was eyeing this king. I mean, I am starting to like green's position less and less. So let's rotate back around to red's position. He's still got that backward pawn. His bishop is inconveniently in front of his rook, but can be moved back to k1 if it wants. We got 45 people spectating this game. Red is doing absolutely nothing, says Amorphia. Yeah. Red could also use his bishop to go back to I1 maybe and defend J3 at the same time, putting all sorts of pressure on this pawn. And now the queen is lined up against the blue king. And what a move! Finally, we see something happening. I think that queen could not undefend that. And wow, what a sacrifice! What a sacrifice! And yellow is now starting. He could have actually taken red's pawn if he wanted, but he didn't want to improve blue's position that much. This is quite interesting. We now have an attack. He refused to take the rook. What a move. Okay, so Neo and okay, I will message your brackets. So we are about to get a and double check. This is actually funny. We actually are about to get a bracket almost confirmed as we look at the match and see the chat between two of the players. And scheduling seems to be a little bit easier than I expected. Why not green knight I5, I wonder? Knight to I5 would hit the backward pawn on red's camp and also the queen. Yeah, I like knight I5. That's a good move. This is very bad for red. Red lost his knight for nothing. He knew if he took that it would just be very bad. So wait, what happened here? I totally missed what while we were having this conversation. He decided to move his rook out of the way, and he gave up his 1-point queen. He decided his I mean, like that was a pretty cunning move by red to just not take the rook. And knight I5, I mean, still can be played right now, right? Yeah, but that rook is now defending J3. I mean, red, he had time to, now he has time to deal with the queen threat and the pawn threat, and he has plenty more places to put his queen now, so knight I5 is a little late now, and now he's just moving his knight back. Looking at that little hole that yellow has indicated the hole. But really, how does yellow attack green king? His pieces are over on the king side, having to protect the king. So attacking green is very much impossible for yellow. I still making an argument that I don't like yellow's position. And now green is actually taking advantage of the fact that oh my goodness, that the red queen was under attack, so he could just pawn push, and he could probably promote next turn. Don't you think? He might try to get away with promoting here? Or does blue think that because if he promotes a take and another take, then it just makes red have another queen. So it's either you have your opposite get another queen, or you have red get another queen and you lose a pawn that could potentially become a queen later. So now red's getting weak. Okay, we've established that. Does blue take? He could take if he wanted to, because if red's weak, it wouldn't hurt too much more to have red get another queen, because he's weak. Now, having said that, still, blue and green are going to bounce off each other just a little bit this game. Again, no cheating here for those who see people not taking queens off the board between blue and green. It's just the nature of the game. They are across from each other. It has already been 45 minutes. Yellow might, yeah, the thing is, yellow's pawns look out there and the center looks clear-ish, but at this point, it's like, how do you promote if you're yellow? Because blue has his rooks just facing this. And blue and green had those center files locked down, and now we have yellow or red taking a 1-point queen that green hung there, and well, but as a downside, red now has an important defender of his king gone, and yellow is now attacking the knight. I guess green could just take with the knights. Knight to J12 does threaten a fork though, and if rook takes, yeah, rook takes is probably the best move here. Rook takes. You got to take with the rook. You got to take with the rook. No, but knight L10 is actually a big threat here. And what does red do to... if he throws his queen on the pawn, that would be hilarious. But I don't think... yeah, there is no good way for red to exploit. No good way for red to go... I mean, queen takes L4 is not going to be good enough here. It is 2 checks, though. 2 checks. You can move a piece twice to attack green. Yellow has 2 checks on green. Yes, 2. If red actually thought about this, he would have gone queen here first, and then queen here second. And then but the queen could take the rook. Yeah. No, it wasn't late because he's not even taking the rook. I can't believe it. He's not even taking the rook. He is leaving his knight there to be annoying. He's not even taking the rook. Green doesn't even do anything about the queen. It's so funny. And then now, oh my goodness. Yeah, you don't want to move your knight there because the blues are going to take. Oh my goodness. What an interesting move we see by both players. Refusing that exchange. He doesn't. Oh my goodness. Blue just put his bishop in front of his rooks and now yellow has a fork on green. He doesn't take the rook. He attacks the queen and he also attacks the bishop, which he thinks is more important to defending his king. It's quite possible. He may actually move his knight back. This will be interesting. Jeez. And red is now pushing a pawn to maybe take a green pawn later on. So here, does yellow oh my goodness, he moved his knight back. I can't believe it. See, his knight is not even gonna take any of his pieces. I bet he pushes his pawn. I bet he doesn't. I bet he pushes his pawn. He got his rook out of attack, and now red's gonna take the pawn. Man, oh my gosh, I cannot believe we have an annoying knight here in this game. This is such a game. Yellow has been interesting this whole game. He refuses to take pieces. He just wants to be annoying. In free for all, that is a viable strategy. That is a great strategy. And now green has to give up his bishop to keep the knight out of the game. It's incredible. Oh yeah, my screen just messed up, but I'm pretty sure it's got the recording correct here. Yeah, my screen is still messing up here. And now red is being under attack here. Wow, things are turning around quick as we see that pesky attack by a yellow. And he just does not give up his knight to trade with any of the other pieces. And now he's just moving his knight back to his own camp. Red's in huge trouble here. Are we going to find out who red is very shortly? Look at that. The green knight is coming towards red. And blue is setting a mating net. What an incredible game we have, ladies and gentlemen. He's not moving his knight anywhere. If it gets taken, he's mated. He has to push his f pawn to f3. Yes. Oh, and then he just dropped the pawn. Oh my goodness. Red is in huge trouble. Red is probably going to be gone first. Is there a way for green to steal a mate here? The king is going to move to d1. Somebody's going to resign, and we'll see what happens here. He's going to maybe oh yeah, he's moving his knight there. Now he's threatening mate again. Queen check and then knight fork and win the queen, or just mate. And this was the wrong move, he says. Yeah, there had to have been some sort of check there that we missed. Now the big question here is, will red defend with his queen? I think he has to. And could green have actually moved his queen here? I think that was the wrong move. Oh my goodness. Probably should have blocked with his queen. Should have blocked with his queen. Ooh. This is a checkmate right here. He got it. And who is it? Who is George 56789? Will be 0-1. And now blue has two queens again. How many minutes has it been? It's been almost an hour. Almost an hour before a first checkmate. Only a couple players are slightly under 10 seconds. We have a player at 11, and we have George, who had 25 seconds before he got checkmated. "44 spectators. Three-player stage started after 55 minutes. After 85th move, green takes a yellow pawn, queen pawn, basically for free. Blue does not take the green rook now. Wow. I would have to believe that it's interesting. I have not actually checked. Now he did. Now he did. And blue's in a good position. Oh, I have to guess who blue is now. On a side note, I must say I think that I would have to guess that Bill and Hess are across from each other. Rafa is yellow. I didn't actually check, but I would have to guess that. I would have to guess that Hess is blue and Bill is green. And I did make a guess that Bill would try to go after Hess, but I didn't, and then would choke somewhere at the end of the game. So I'm predicting it now. I think blue's going to try to go after green, and the choke is the fact that green has a point lead, but is in position to be teamed by blue and yellow now. Now yellow's going to try to move his knight towards blue, which is, I think if I was yellow, I'd probably at least try to go after green, but he may just be at the moment not attacking blue, but going after his own king. And yellow is actually, it looks like yellow's getting out of his way to attack blue. Interesting. So how do you take advantage of this if you're green? Yellow's attacking blue now. And Babby again says that yellow's just going to be the game decider here. Green's about to push and make a queen. If yellow takes the pawn now, then the green bishop could defend that rook if he wanted to. And now he's just shooting everything at blue because, wow, what if he throws his knight on the pawn instead of the rook? That would be quite interesting. He took the rook, and now the pawn will push itself. So do you take the knight or do you take the pawn? I guess the answer's a little bit obvious. You take the knight. So now they're all going against blue. And if green decides to take the queen, then he has to lose that pawn that he has pushed so many years. Well, by so many years, I mean actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 times basically. And I think yellow's going to stack everything on a blue now. I think he's going to throw his bishop in front. He could actually consider throwing his 1-point queen in front. And now yellow's just throwing everything on blue now. I think green's going to take advantage of this. Green's going to win here. Green's going to let yellow just destroy blue. And now the rook will take, the knight will be taken, and the queen is now no longer defending n8, so and what a move by yellow. Denying green the wow. He's giving blue back the game now. That was indeed a mistake. You have to lower blue's material. What is going on here? Yellow has been playing quite interesting this game. Still anyone's game, yeah. He's not going to promote just yet. There's just so many spectators here. This jack could be huge. Oh, wow. And yellow just lost a pawn. Now the knight will defend itself, but the rook could attack either the knight or the... yeah, he's going to have to go here. This could occur, but then the knight takes. However, I think this and this could happen, so you have to get your queen away from the rook. May have to move it to defend this guy, which could be an issue. I mean, at this point, I think yellow could destroy blue's game, but won't save his that way. They're all saying blue's Hess, and I would just probably bet that it's actually quite possible yellow is Bill Cooper. And I've been making predictions from the beginning. I mean, I don't think Bill Cooper would push his pawn forward early on, his yellow pawns forward. But I've been saying that Bill would try to go after Hess, with the minor exception that he's his opposite. If he was his side guy and he figured out who Hess was, I think he'd go after him early on. Because Bill knows that Hess is the favorite to win this match here. I like how yellow plays. Me too. He moved his king over instead of castling, and he also moved his pawns forward. He's an interesting player. Interesting player. Is he going to sack his rook on the knights? Yeah, he's going to throw away his chance if he takes it. Pushes J8. Yep. Still going through the chat. Very hard to assess. Now yellow has a queen. And if green defends that square, which he does, now blue has to give up his rook. He has to go for that. And now the green. Ooh, so does green hold on to yellow's rook, or does he move it away and allow blue to capture? No, he does not want blue to have any more points. I think he's going to leave it right there. As we said, yeah, I think he's going to leave it. So now, yellow's going to probably retreat his rook back, and here comes blue. He's going towards yellow's camp. So yellow and green are equal in material. Green is a passed pawn, but it's being guarded by blue's queen. And basically the bishop is just keeping the pawn, just dragging the pawn towards itself, basically. We have 47 spectators. I may have missed when we had 50. Um, and now we have another queen by green. Green has a rook. Blue has 2 knights. Yellow is a wild card. I agree with that. And what is blue trying to do, taking the trying to attack the queen, trying to trade it off? I guess it's in his camp, so I guess that's what he's trying to do. If yellow moves his bishop to G11, that would be very mean, as if green probably... Oh, yeah, the knight recaptures. Never mind. I mean, if you took the blue knight, it would have been interesting, because queen takes queen, queen takes queen, and blue is 1 less knight. Yellow basically gets away with winning a piece if green decides to take queen. Now they're equal. Yeah, this is going to be a 30-minute endgame. I probably agree with this, but when it gets down to 3, whoever gets mated first, well, determines the endgame, basically. Um, um, what's the green rook we're looking at doing? Oh, now the blue queen is saying, no, blue rook, green rook, you're not allowed on the my back rank. Not my back rank, anyway. And now the green rook is coming towards blue's 3rd rank now. He's really getting all up in blue's camp. is 215. Are we just going to shuffle now? And is green going to win on the threefold? Green wins on the threefold. There's no difference between second and third, so that would just be a win for green. And now blue is trying to trade queens now again with green. Attacking the blue queen. I'm still wondering if that threefold position is going to happen. Green would be down for it, I'm pretty sure. If he just moves his rook back and forth and both other players move their pieces back and forth, we're going to have a game-ending threefold repetition, which could put green in the point lead here. And it'd be a win for green. So green would need to move his rook back exactly where it was last time, because he's the one that would be favored for it. But he still continues a position. I feel like by the arrows that that yellow's actually Bill Cooper now. I don't think yellow's Rafa. I think yellow's probably Bill Cooper. Yeah, I was gonna guess Hess is blue, Rafa is yellow, or no, Hill is yellow and Rafa's green. He says don't do it yet. I agree. Let's wait till the end. Oh my gosh! Wow! They repeated. Hess is green! Oh my goodness! Hest is green. I was not. Oh my gosh. Hest did take the first game just like I predicted. And yes, Bill Cooper is yellow. Oh my gosh. Wow. I was hoping Hess would just, or green. Good job. Good game. Oh my gosh. I was calling it. I was calling it. Green had to repeat the position. He had to repeat the position. He had to do it. Okay, I'm lagging. I need to get out of this thing. I can't see what I'm doing. There should be a rematch happening. I think you can reveal, says assistant tournament director Babagun. I am lagging severely. I do not know where, honestly, the thing is. Should not be in dark mode. That's my issue. Why am I lagging? Am I out of internet? Am I out of internet? Okay, so we will be re-inviting. No, 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 no. Oh my gosh. No. I'm gonna abort. I'm gonna abort. I did not mean this. Okay, wait. Here. Don't auto start. Now we gotta invite Rafa 25. Okay, now. Wow, that was incredible. Oh my gosh. Okay, now we got the game back. Rafa. Okay, so I think the matchmaker has okay, so I completely forgot. Okay. I don't even remember. I completely blanked on who the players are. Um, Now I'm completely unblinded to the fact that you can see if you're the match creator, you can see who the players are before the game begins. So my amazement at the fact that green was Hest and I was right about Hest winning the first game is just like I'm totally blind. I forget who was who anyways. Actually, I do have a feeling you guys saw it before. I don't know if I'm going to cut it out of my video. Maybe I should. Maybe okay. So I could potentially divide this into two parts where I clip out one part and you know the other thing. But we do have a game number two, and Hess wins this next game. It is going to be over, and you think this one is going to be longer than the last one? Interesting. Oh my gosh. I had a bad feeling I would auto start there. Oh my gosh. Um, this is, oh, I can actually auto select that. Awesome. Score, number 4, Rafa 25, 0-0. Number 5, Hest 1805, 1-0. Number 12, George 5679, 0-1. Number 13, Bill 13 Cooper, 0-0. And I'm lagging again. Such a match. That was an incredible way to finish the first game. And I mean, I knew yellow wasn't Hest. I knew yellow wasn't Hest. It was not like him to, it definitely seemed right like Rafa to push his pawns and try to make queens early. And your master is here is now. I guess he's spoiling it for us. Well, thank you very much. I did see. Okay, yeah, good job, good job. Okay, so we do have confirmation from 3 members now of that last bracket. Just have to hear. I think Justin D7 said 18 GMT is okay as well. We'll have to double check. I think he could do it. We'll follow up with a message. Anonymous is going to win this, definitely. So I did get to see who the beginning was. I think it was like, I do remember Green being Rafa. I don't remember who the other ones were, but Anonymous also won. Anonymous goes home devastated. Okay, so back to the game. We see Green here pushing pawns. I would have to say this is very Rafa-like. But anyway, we have... It would be interesting for the commentators who didn't read the chat to kind of guess who the players were. We have 28 spectators now. Compared to the setup to the last game. So, no comments in the last minute or two. Still the score is 0 at this game. And it looks like people are blocking each other off now. I want to say that Yellow's night defense system is a very Bill Cooper-like setup. Wouldn't want to say that it's him. I don't even remember seeing whose name it was. I'm gonna feel like an idiot later when I find out it's a different guy. Again, I'm trying not to memorize the names, but they have been there on the screen since the beginning of this video. So, and I don't even feel like patching the part where somebody in the chat decided to say who was who. Should I go do it in front of the camera? I'm not gonna do it. I'm just kidding. Good thing I can unban myself. Yes. And part of the privilege of being an admin, he's gonna ban me, and I'm gonna have to show everybody my rating deviation on video. And before it pops up on my screen, he's gonna ban me. I know it. I'm gonna have to you know what kind of inconvenience. D4 PC4 QH5 QF7 goes home devastated. Clearly Anonymous is winning. Is the joke, man. Is he gonna try to sack his knight on the pawn? That's 2 pawns he can get in. He can also bust open. No, that's he did it. Oh my goodness. Bill uses arrows, that gives away the game. Yes, Bill might indeed. I did say that was a Bill Cooper setup, and I think somebody might have said who yellow is. And now queen takes pawn. Look at that. Bill is doing his thing with his opposite. No. If red plays queen takes a4, it's definitely Bill. Well, it feels like a brilliant capture. You know, you're exposing the king. I've been saying earlier, if you want to destroy people's souls, take their pawns, not pieces. What? Oh my gosh. What is going on here? What is going on? How does he not take the he does not because he couldn't he had to deal with the his queen was basically trapped. He wanted to take revenge on that. What? Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Queen takes c4 and look at that. He's just sacrificing his queen. What a move. Oh my goodness. Queen c4 mate. Queen c4 mate. It actually the pawn is defending on the d3 to c4. Not queen d5. Queen c4 mate. Queen c4 or queen d5. Both are okay. Queen. Yeah, I called it. Queen to c4. Oh my gosh. Hest. Oh my gosh. Oh, what did I predict? I predicted that Bill would go after Hest. And what is this? My predictions are on fire now. Blue is Hest. My predictions are on fire. Oh my gosh. My predictions at the beginning were that Hess would take the first game after Bill chokes. And then Bill would find who Hess was the second game and get him eliminated fast. This is going to be a short game, ladies and gentlemen. What? Oh, oh my gosh. If that is indeed George on the red side, like, why didn't they do that the first game too? And it's because of the fact that, well, this game, yellow felt very opposite-y. Yellow and red felt very opposite-y this game. But now yellow has only 3 pieces. And he's just sacked. Oh my gosh. This is just crazy. Now yellow is not really I thought Bill would be going for the win here. Now he's just going after Hest. Oh my goodness. He can't take the bishop back because the queen would check him. With queen takes queen. Could Bill maybe sneak a pawn push here? No, there's 2 queens attacking the bishop. I'm kind of bad. Oh, he doesn't take the knight. He feels like if he takes the knight, then green's 2 queen advantage would remain. And now he's going to move his bishop back. He didn't. He's hanging a knight. Let me see. So the material count is red has 2 rooks, 2 bishops, and a knight. Yeah. So red couldn't take the yellow knight because he wants yellow to stay in the game to attack green. And if yellow hits that resignation button, well, he's basically giving red the game. Okay, never mind. I think red could have probably taken the knight, but I don't think he wants. I don't know. Yellow is not. Yellow just wanted Hest out of the game, I think, and I don't know. Maybe they learned that by his opening style. But wow, Hest was gone super fast. So we will have a game 3. We will definitely have a game 3. Now, green cannot take the yellow knight, or else he's one bishop less. But he does take the knight. Wow. And red promotes. I think that was a bad capture. I think now red's going to win this game. I mean, at this point, do we think that yellow's going to have a chance to come back, and he's got 3 pawns and 1 king, and they could just put him in a Zugzwang and it's just over, you know? He's going to force himself to give up pieces. But red, it's basically one-on-one green versus red, and yellow resigns. What? Oh my goodness. What is going on? Red is going to win this game. There's no way for green to come back and do it. Red takes, green takes, resign. GG. And George now has 1 win. Okay. That's 1111000. Correct. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Red, he just allowed red to promote. And I knew that you knew blue was Hest, which is why I could see you sacrificing the pieces on blue. And I agree that bishop takes knight was bad. I figured, like, I had this feeling that Bill would go directly after Hest, and that would be how it goes after Hest wins the first game. They could try. They could actually anonymous games could actually only temporarily solve the thing, but once they figure out his play style, people just start teaming on him, and it's like there's nothing you could do. Okay, no auto start. Got to get Rafa in here. Rafa. Okay, random seating. And here we go. This is as random as we could get, and I think we're having the worst RNG. So I already know for a fact that a couple of players have gotten some similar colors. I've shuffled this board very well, but for whatever reason, Hest and Rafa are still getting blue and green, the exact colors they got the first game. So we already know who's who. I did shuffle, I promise. I have it on camera. I can prove it to you guys. Well, it's 1-1, so why kill Hest? They have to figure out who Hest and George are both. If they, they're going to try to kill Hest because he's in the lead 1-0 and it's game over. It is a match point for George and Hest, but could be anybody's game. So I don't know who Hest is. Well, we all know who Hest is. Just kidding. I already figured it out. Like, the real question is, like, if you're Hest, how do you stop any outrageous attacks by your opponents when, you know, you're the favorite to win? I mean, that's what Bill. I knew Bill would go after Hest on the game too. I had that big feeling. Yeah, I feel like we're gonna. I mean, we could already see it. Yeah, the second game was very short. How good is FFA? I'm trying to translate that Spanish thing. The first game lasted 80. Well, that's FFA. Bill did not want. Bill clearly did not want Hess to take down the match, and that's why he did everything he could to make sure it didn't happen. But he weakened himself by doing so. Kamikaze on the wrong player is equal to oops. You find out that the person. Okay, so you know the person who's kamikazing is not the the person who kamikazes is not the player with a 1-0 record. So then you don't go after him. Instead, you go after the and one of the guys kamikazing on the wrong guy, and the guy kamikazing on uh is adjacent to the guy's 1-0, and so the guy opposite the one kamikaze just goes breakneck into his camp, and then the 1-0 leader is not doing anything. He just pushes a pawn. They're trying to copy each other's playing style. Yeah, if you copy each other's play style, you don't reveal who you are. And I think has to. I think he's trying. I think. I, now that I think about it, they are trying to copy each other's play style to hide the. Yeah, it is a hide and seek game. I totally forgot about this possibility of yeah, George one. That was hilarious. They have to imitate each other, otherwise, like Hest actually has to imitate. I mean, I already know who the players are, but basically Hest and George have to play copycat, otherwise they're going to get attacked. Like, it's just funny. Oh my gosh. Pretty soon, like game four is just gonna evolve into an all copycat game. Wow. I have not seen this before. All copycat. He really has to yeah, we already saw who the players were, but the ones that are imitating the other players are the ones that have to. This hide and seek concept is not something I clearly thought through when with the FFA championship. This is amazing. Like, I think the championship's going to even itself out. There are going to be 5 game matches, and the fifth game will be the one that the winner wins. But like, is everybody going to go after Hess that last game? Because Hess is the one player that you got playing. This is a hell of a championship so far. Nope, 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 nope. Yeah, I got it. I got it. So, yeah, we got to get rid of that. But no, I already knew that Hess was blue and that George is yellow. It's just funny that they have to imitate green. They have to imitate green to, to hide their identities. They both realize it too. It's hilarious. And now blue's going after yellow. I don't know what this means. Is he gonna sack on the pawn? I mean, if you're Hess, do you think you're trying to kamikaze on somebody to pretend to be like Bill? I think if you're Hess, you have to kamikaze to make yourself look like Bill. Change the styles of everybody's play. Everybody's gonna try to be like each other, and then like I don't know. This is oh my gosh. He got his queen out. I don't see this is a very unhess like to take his queen out. Yeah, I could do this. The championship rules. Google Docs. I mean, I guess I'm gonna have to. Yellow is anonymous, I think. Yeah. Now blue has two queens. Knight takes e12 before move 50. I thought knight takes e12 was going to take place. Show coordinates, checkmate. Knight takes e12 I thought was going to take place way earlier.
Rook takes J3. Rook takes J3. Oh, rook takes J3. He should have taken with the knight, actually. Oh, he resigned. What was that? He resigned. Yeah. But does everybody... Hmm. Man. But does everybody know who blue is? Everybody's copying your masters here. People were saying the first game. People were saying the first game. People are imitating. They thought it was your masters here. Um, Salty Bill. And ladies and gentlemen, uh, man, we got a Salty Bill 13 Cooper here. We need some pepper. Oh, Angie and Bill playing in this bracket would have been funny. Ah, it's already in my suggested comment list. Come on, man. You gotta do the Angie sack, you know? You know the Angie sack, that is where you got the light squared bishop eyeing basically the knight is left the defense of a queenside pawn or queenside pawn. And there's a king on the back rank that is on the light squares trapped. So a better example of a true Angie sack would be the leader makes the sacrifice and the follower takes the bishop. But basically, the objective of the Angie sack is to take the bishop, and then the other guy takes the pawn and checks the king, and then the queen, because the king is trapped, is forced to take the bishop. So then the bishop will take the king. That is the definition in free for all of an Angie sack. I've seen it played so many times in October and November, including one of the admins. So will this game finish? We're definitely going to split it by parts.
for sure. Um, hmm. So Bill now has one loss. Which means I think if Hest wins this one, Bill will be ranked last. So very early resignation by Bill, but basically he'll be placed with two higher ranked players. One of which is probably going to be like middle, and one which is high, and then one which is I think higher, but fourth of bracket 2 goes according to the championship rules. Fourth of bracket 2 would go to the bracket 6. So you'd have to play fourth of bracket 4, second of bracket 3, and second of bracket 1. So fourth place of bracket 4. All right. So they're going to have to figure out who Hest is. We got 45 spectators in the chat. It's incredible. "45 spectators." This game might be a little bit longer, though, than the previous one. If they do repeat, and they do repeat the position, Hest will take this one. Yellow is very weak, though. So if yellow gets mated by blue, then blue wins. And the match will be over because we already know it's Hest. It's a large number of spectators. Yeah, in the first game, I think Hest could have ended the game much sooner by repeating the position when I indicated. But, or even before I indicated. But there wasn't a whole lot of progress to be made there. Green's now heading towards yellow. Does he know that Hest is well, green has to know that it's either George or Hest. If green plays to lose here, though, it would be he would just be making a king of Hest here, probably. Bishop takes bishop check, maybe. But wouldn't that just give away the game to blue because blue would mate in the next turn? Yeah, bishop takes bishop check would just blunder the entire tournament here. Or blunder the entire match. Does he pawn push here? Okay, brings his rook to support this pawn. Yeah, like it's... Was that a mouse slip, or was capturing the pawn just bad? So he can't check. He can't check. Now blue's gonna take here, and oh, the queen will take and defend the rook. Okay, never mind. Calm down. You don't want to take now. You can't take. No, that was a bad move. That was a very bad move. Now it would be bad for green to take the bishop check. It would be very bad. I don't like the move. I don't like the move by blue here. Doubt green's going to take this. He promotes, as a matter of fact, and I think that was a smart move by green. That was a blunder there by blue. That was just a blunder. Oh, so you got to cover. He's got to cover his. He's got to move the knight. He's got to move the knight here, or the knight here, or the rook here. He's got to cover. He has to cover it because the bishop is attacking the queen. He's got to cover it. Has to cover. Or move the bishop. That was an excellent move by green. And now blue needs to move his queen out of the way and let I think he blundered his queen, his 1-point queen. Yeah, green figured it out. He has to cover the bishop diagonal or move the bishop. That was I didn't even consider moving the bishop, but yeah, you have to get out of the way there. Now if you're green, you're attacking the knight here. If you're blue, you're getting the queen out of attack because yellow's going to go kamikaze on you now. Or you're attacking the queen and threatening the square, which could be mating if he doesn't take. Yeah, check, king over. And then queen checkmate, no, because the knight is covering it. I think what he should do now is not check yellow just yet. No, I don't think he should check yellow. I think he should wait because yellow could potentially grab a rook here. And it also release the defense of this square, which if check, then here, checkmate. I think he should have waited for it to happen. And now green is sacrificing trading on blue. Oh, and he found the mate. Oh my gosh. What a game. This is it. This is over. This is it. He can now resign to victory. Ladies and gentlemen, this match is over. What an incredible way to take advantage of a pin. And Hest is now your bracket number 2 champion. He will be moving on. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. What an incredible match this was. So that will be it. Thank you guys for watching and take care.